If you stop by an Issaquah store, you will get a scoop.
This is my ice cream store. All my kids have worked here. We have signs here, and it's better than them knocking on the door at my house at random hours. So.
But by now, it is no surprise that the owner, Mark Mullet, is running for governor.
How does this frame your perspective on running for the highest office in the state?
The common thread is we all hate wasting money. Like, small business owners just simply can't afford to waste money. And I think that's the mentality we need in the governor's office.
Senator Mark Mullet from Issaquah, representing the 5th Legislative District.
He's served in the state Senate for the past dozen years, frequently at odds with fellow Democrats on tax votes.
What are your top 4 priorities as you run for governor?
First one is affordability. We have to figure out how to make our state affordable. A second focus for me is really around public safety. The third comes back to jobs. I look at the vacancy rate in downtown Seattle right now of office buildings. We're going to want a governor that can actually go in and recruit businesses to come to our state. And the final one is our public schools. I think there's a lot of room for improvement still. We've thrown billions of dollars in the public school system.
Mullet believes that is a recipe that can separate himself from Democratic fundraising leader Bob Ferguson, arguing the Attorney General is more status quo than him.
We get roughly $480 million a year in cannabis tax revenue. I think we should be pushing that out at the local level to both cities and counties. And I'm a big fan of secure substance abuse treatment facilities. Like, I think that's our missing link.
You've been in the legislature. Why hasn't that happened?
You know, the governor has a lot of power. And so he has his priorities right now of where he wants to spend his money. My priorities would be different.
Mullet says he's supporting 2 of the voter initiatives on the ballot this fall.
My record lines up exactly with how I voted in the Senate, which is I opposed the long-term care payroll tax, never thought it was a good tax. I voted against the capital gains tax because we had the largest budget surplus in the history of our state, $8 billion. The Climate Commitment Act is the one initiative that I'm not supporting. We can fight climate change without having the highest gas prices in the country.
But if you're elected governor, you would be interested in doing something different.
You know, I think it's a false choice to say anyone complaining about the price of gas doesn't care about climate change. I know a lot of people that care about climate change, but also care about the price of gas. And that's the balance we need to get right.
So you're clearly trying to carve out this middle lane. Are there enough Democrats who are willing to drive down this, to continue on with this metaphor about driving? Are there enough Democrats, do you think, are willing to drive down this middle lane?
2/3 of the state wants somebody besides Bob Ferguson. And Attorney General Bob Ferguson was the one urging the legislature to follow the path of Oregon and decriminalize possession of drugs like meth, fentanyl, heroin. I was a Democratic state senator that came out the day after that Supreme Court decision and said, I'm dropping a bill to make sure that does not happen in the state of Washington. Attorney General Bob Ferguson, he wanted to go the opposite way.
You've been in the single digits in these polls. Does that discourage you as you move forward here?
We're not discouraged at all. We're not the status quo candidate. We're not the establishment candidate. We are the candidate who wants to see change.
That is the antithesis of a soft serve from Mullet, who appears to be hardening his attacks voter to voter, cone by cone.